Hello there, and welcome to a bit of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It's been a short while since the last episode. I realised that I've been putting out quite a few lately, but I figured out that I've desperately wanted to record, but I've not had time lately. Between D&D and I guess just like actually getting used to not being so tired all the time. Quite the shock I've come to learn. Yeah, just doing other things as well, and yeah. So, in the last episode we were trying to find Modronorian, and here he is, because I went searching for him. So all we had to do is, in the previous save, we had to go all the way back to Atatar, let him, you know, like we had to escort him, so like if he goes too far, you can't like chase him up. So we had to let him go forward into the building, exit again, and then say, right, okay, we'll meet you back at Coral. So he's going to go for a nice little kip, and then we're going to talk to him the following day. But where is a good place to rest in Coral? Well, we could go to our, in fact, yeah, let's go to our castle. And how much gold do we have? Because I'm fairly certain we've got a lot of money to invest. 18,000 gold. Yeah, so we've got some money to pump into the system, so maybe we could get ourselves a horse and show off the horse armor. Because this travelling might get a bit too tiresome. So we're going to continue on with the Fighters Guild quests, and then we're going to just, I guess... In fact, if I can catch up to those deer, I'm going to have a punch of them. Venison, because venison is used in healing potions. If this Minotaur hasn't spotted us, we can take advantage of that. Carry on our merry way.
Yes?
Like, if you don't like the DLC, there is some fantastical mods for the game with player housing and such. Do look into them. They are incredible. If you're on console, I appreciate that's not an option. And DLC was kind of like the only way. I'm going to let that axe stay there for as long as the game will let it. It's a memento, or a... Oh my word. It's rather scary. So that's a... Daedra, that's you. And here's our complete collection. Very impressive indeed. Yeah. So... let's make our way through. Let's not go that way. Let's go to our quarters and rest up. In fact, if we bought everything for our house, yeah, we haven't we, in the Imperial City. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought, I do apologise. Yeah, there is some good housing, but yeah, like DLC was like kind of like meant to be almost like a solution to that on consoles, you know, while also making a bit of money. But yeah.
You've got some nimble fingers. What have you been getting into?
I don't appreciate that kind of language thing. Right. Let's make our merry way.
Hello there.
Back into town. So it seems to have been spawned from the ceiling and landed there. Also a sort of pathfinding error. Now, let's just show you this. If we try going any further, we will be met with a message. At some stage. Yeah, that actually road does seem to end there. Let's see how far we can get this way before we are forced to turn back. I will fast travel back to Coral. But yeah, it's hard to tell like where the endpoints in this game are, where it's just like you can go no further, turn back now and things like that. Because of the invisible walls and such. Yeah, I suppose like here it's meant to be like impossible terrain. Yeah. It's about there. You can no longer go. So, let's go back, fast travel and get ourselves into the Fighter's Guild and continue our quest there. That took us about an hour of travel of in-game time. I think a minute in game passes for every 5 seconds in the real world. I'm not entirely sure. Ah, there we are.
Good day. I don't have anything for you right now.
Ah, that was it.
Perhaps. Goodbye.
Let's see, Bezgrakash and Azan. Let's see what Azan's got for us. Or Azan, or however you pronounce it.
I've heard you know how to move in light armor.
Well, interesting display of sparring.
Hey!
Azan sees you up here. It's downstairs when you join to like, to like greet newcomers and such. Oh, hello. Is that a skill book? Death blow. Yeah, read it. Never mind. There we go. Hello, Azan.
I hope I can help.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Here we are. Yes, the Knights of the Nine DLC is installed properly.
Have you heard about Kvatch? Good to see you're looking for more work. There's certainly more to be done. I need you to help Alante of Alinor. Alante is a scholar interested in researching Deidre worship. Meet her in Brittle Rock Cave, help her find the shrine, and keep her safe. That's what Alante is studying. Make sure she's safe while she does it. Go protect Alante. She's doing important research. Well.
And where do we find Alante? Oh, she's just outside the cave, or within the cave. Before I go though, have I got anything that I can sell off? Nothing immediately important that has to leave my inventory right now. Okay. While we're here, just going to check into Dunbarrow Cave. I wonder if my boys are back. And if they've brought me some loot that isn't just silver mugs.
Have you heard any word about the other provinces? It's my pleasure. Please, continue. It sure sounds like the Blackwood Company double-crossed Argath and helped Azani Blackheart murder him. Hard to prove it, though. Good day. Go ahead, please. Sure, the Fighters Guild raided a family tomb, but they did it for a family member. What's wrong with that? Bye.
See, a lot of these rumours I've never actually heard before. So it's interesting that
How do you do?
we hear some of this stuff. Let's say I take this.
A pleasure to...
Is that the loot that they actually bring
There's
back?
much I can show you.
They're
May I
reusing.
interest you in some of my fine wares? Take care.
Anything else in this place? Anything at all that I need to know about? No. Right, let's drop off some loot and then... Oh, I don't know where.
Welcome.
I appreciate this game is hard to look at because I've watched some of these videos back. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my head's spinning at how fast the mouse is moving. It's a lot nicer to look at when you've got a control. You're using a controller. Am I keeping no route in there already? Yes, I am. Okay. So, I'm keeping weapons in here, aren't I? So I can get rid of some of these clubs. They weigh a fair amount.
Good day. Knowledge is the key to success. Be seen.
Okay, so I'm already trained up, so when I next level up, I can do so without any worries whatsoever. Right, onwards we move. Am I going to festival? I think I will. Let's festival to the Brina Cross, and let's festival find Malika Shrine. Oh, there's a settlement down here as well. I don't think this is where I think it is, but it might actually be. Oh, is this Lord Drad's estate, I wonder? Yes, it is. This is where Lord Drad lives. You won't be able to see it from here, because they're all inside. But Lord Drad has a bit of a dark secret. As you can probably tell from the name. Oh. They must be all out at the moment. Only one hut? No. Yes, Lord Drad is a slave owner. And normally the slaves are working these fields. Oh, don't worry, we can help them. And we can do better than just killing Lord Drad. Let's see how that goes. Found the Shrine of Malakath. What pray tell would Malakath like?
You dare come here to the shrine of our Lord? You are not one of us.
If you're an orc, his dialogue would be different.
Anvil is all in an uproar. First the chapel attacked. Now the prophet ranting about the end of the world.
Ah, they can wait.
I guess you haven't heard. We don't like the beautiful people. But maybe you can persuade me you're ugly inside. I guess you haven't heard. All right. That's just... You've got a point. Don't wait. Gracious, what a hero. I won't fight. That's just... Don't try to manipulate. My life is drab and wretched by comparison. That's just... That's enough. Don't waste... My life is drab and wretched by... That's a... You win this one. What a... Not now, not... I can't argue. Not now, not later. That's just not funny. Are you serious? I guess you haven't heard. So...
Okay.
I'll be here.
So we've got to convince him that we're not beautiful. So I think we have to develop enough infamy. Or have a high enough bounty or something like that. I'm not quite sure of what it requires. But basically I'm too good for him. I've done too many good deeds. Now Fort Such, if we don't alert anything else, quite a nice and interesting layout. I do believe it has a role in the Dark Brotherhood storyline. Look at that. Very unique. That's almost labyrinthine when you go inside. Interesting that the dungeon music is still playing. Never plays outdoors. I've been reading a lot of creepypasta lately, some of which are actually based on Fallout, and I quite like that one. Like Point Lookout, that's a pretty good one. And yeah, that's actually kind of disconcerting that perhaps my game is all of a sudden haunted. The NES Godzilla one is incredible. Like, that's my sort of favourite creepypasta, the one where someone has a great knowledge of it and actually understands the subject and hasn't just pulled it out of their arse.
Oh yes, how do you do?
Before I go any further with you, I'll make sure that you are safe. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the Green Lantern ring. With the shield ring. Punch the Civil Eye. So, we can't exactly protect this person if there's monsters around, so we deal with them first. Let's carry on our merry way. Seemingly no way of opening this. So yeah, I think this is like one of the dead ends of the dungeon. So she walks through there, wastes everybody's time, carries on. I thought I punched his boots off then. Penance of animosity. See, the thing about Daedric Blades is like, look, that blade weighs a lot and it should be worth a lot of money, because Daedric arms are some of the best in the game, but it ain't worth that much to me. See, to be honest, at that point, like unenchanted gear is worth more to me, because then I can enchant it. That's the stealth skill. Punch them so silently that not even their cries are heard. Yeah, there reaches a point in the game where like the loot sort of fixes itself, and like you just instantly get all the stuff you kind of want. Rather than just baboon shite. The fuck?
Whoa!
So I think she's out. I think she's satisfied with like the lower part with this part. I think she stays here to research. But we can go further down, and I think we shall. Just to make things a little bit easier, the escort mission going forward. So you also got a lot of sewer ambience as well. The dripping, I don't think that was ever in the console version. See, I've attracted the attention of something, but I don't know what it is. Well, evidently it was that. I thought it was a fire breathing David at first. It's really just... opposite. Right, let's have a look at some of these weapons. So we've got Oblivion's Embrace, which actually isn't too bad. That's pretty good. Weakness to fire, and then it does fire damage. Chest large. Yeah, I don't see too many of those actually in Oblivion. Come on, turn around. Yeah, you can all but elude that easily. The lady was under attack there. I should protect you, my lady. Fuck you. Why? It's a slaughterfish. It's gonna fucking kill me if I don't kill it. Wasn't too bad, to be honest.
Oh yes, how do you do? Ah, you must be guild. I'm looking forward to our investigation. Fascinating subject, these Deidre. I am Elante of Alanor.
I don't know where Eleanor is, sorry.
My research shows there is likely a shrine in these caves. I'll need you to accompany me to the shrine. Handle any difficulties. Yes, let's investigate. And keep on your toes. Stay...
See, this is like a very Morrowind kind of quest. So like low stakes. No big deal. And it worked out quite well, you know. And every now and then you need something like that. It's a nice, quick, simple job like this. I don't necessarily like escort quest as such, but I like the idea of like, hey, we're just gonna do something that isn't massive and overwhelming. Because the thing is that when every mission is special, no mission is special. It's a problem. It's sort of like a problem I had with Skyrim in a way. That like, I mean, Skyrim has some amazing missions. Like Thieves Guild stuff is brilliant, but it's all the time, and nothing really gets to stand out. Dead end. So she's gonna turn around. Can I move away from it without her getting stuck? If I run here, does a compass icon move? See the shit I got. Oh, I hope you wanted to study, you know, any of the live Daedra. In fact, you're so fascinated that you're just walking by them all. Just great. But yeah, it was just something about Skyrim in general that like annoyed me. Like, and I get that they have to do it, but it's like the constant one-upping. It's like it was never enough to just go back to basics at any stage in the game. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about things that I like, because I know that I come across as bashing Skyrim a lot. I vastly prefer Oblivion, and yet, like, Skyrim's like easy enough to digest. I'm like, you know what, I can actually play this game, it's fine. As long as, like, honestly, you remove the dragons, and I would actually say that Skyrim is one of my all-time favorite games.
A fine example of a Daedric shrine. Sorry for the trouble getting here. Let's keep...
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, Jesus, well, sorry. The slightest nudge on my phone cable caused it to go ape shit. Caused Windows to go ape shit. think this is a shrine dedicated to Molo Baal. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going based off the pose, because you find quite a few shrines dedicated to Molo Baal.
I think I'll study this shrine a bit longer. You can make your way out here. I thank you again for your help. Please, take this as a token of my thanks.
What do we get? Oh, nice skill book.
A fine study to add to my research. I thank you for your help. I appreciate all of your help. Thank you. Thanks again.
Yeah, that's it. Nice and simple. So let's have a look. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a rare book. Yeah, at 100 gold, that's a rare book. So, pretty nice. So, yeah, I apologise if the game starts crashing. But yeah, things I liked about Skyrim, like, I think first of all I like the intro. It plays... It's in a way consistent and at the same time unique, in that you start as a prisoner, but in other games like you've been a prisoner, or like you're like something goes wrong with your transportation. It's like an arena or Daggerfall. Like in Daggerfall, your ship crashes and you land at Daggerfall and you got to figure things out for yourself. Good freeform motivation. In Morrowind, you are a prisoner, or you're aboard a slave ship or whatever, and your records are not found. So, I guess in a reference to Morrowind and Skyrim, they either say, well, we actually can't do anything with you, so we're going to let you go. But not necessarily. In Oblivion, they say, well, we're not letting you go, but we're not.
Well met.
You know, if you die, you die. So that's the way they see it.
You finished? Excellent. Good work, guildmate. Here's your payment for the contract. Take care.
Hi there.
Trying to think what to do. Sell off some loot. I'm not bothered about making too much money off this, I just want to offload it.
Good day. Hey! Have a look around. You won't find better prices. You got a great deal. That's a good deal. That...
I don't use poisons, but oh, that is good. Might keep that actually.
Another satisfied customer.
I don't ask about anything in particular.
Take...
So yeah, in Morrowind they let you go. In Oblivion they don't choose to let you go, but they don't choose to keep you either. And in Skyrim they just say, nope, we're gonna kill you anyway. And to be honest, I think as well it's quite good that the Empire is this time actually shown to be, I guess, a force of evil.
Well met.
In other games, they're incompetent, or perhaps they are, it's like they are a
Good to see you.
force of change, rather than good or bad. I mean, that can easily be debated. I'm not knowledgeable enough about Elder Scrolls lore to say. So I thought the intro was quite good. I don't like the whole dragon attack thing. In fact, to be honest, dragons just piss me off. And I know that they're not that big in Elder Scrolls in terms of encountering them. I think only in maybe Arena and Daggerfall that you encounter dragons, but not my sort of monster. And I think if you're gonna do dragons, they kind of need to be done a bit more intelligently than what Bethesda are capable of doing.
What can I do for you, meat? Need something to do? I've got something for you. Could be tough. There are some escaped fugitives for you to find, meat.
is meat just a punctuation mark from prison break? Meat.
Some real hard cases got out of the Breville prison. Been terrorizing the locals ever since. The watch is useless, so we step in. Get to it. Apparently, there are 3 or 4 of them. Real nasty from what I hear. You take care of them. Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll surrender. Find the fugitives. Make yourself useful.
So yeah, but I don't like dragons. If you're gonna do dragons, like, I'd rather they be more intelligent.
Do you? And I don't care.
I feel like I don't prevail over there. We've uncovered a lot on the road to Breville. We don't need to walk all the way. Oh, damn. Sorry, I completely forgot what am I doing? We need to buy a horse to get to Breville, don't we? Let's find...
I'm listening. Go ahead.
some worship, nice.
I own the Black Waterside stables. Are you shopping for a horse?
I am indeed. Don't mention.
I could tell you that our blacks are the fastest, toughest, most reliable horses in Cyrodiil. There are some quality books at Maknar's. Just don't catch him when he's in a bad mood.
He's an orc who sells books, quite the opposite of the stereotypes. Although, yeah, sort of plays into it, I guess.
The black horses of Cheydinhal are the finest in all of Cyrodiil. None are faster, and only the white horses of Anvil are stronger. You won't regret it. Go out to the corral. Nivrina will have your new black horse saddled and ready for you.
Very much so.
Your horse has been saddled. If you want to buy a horse, go inside and talk to Tovas. Gonradel sure does have a knack for training dogs. I've heard that she will train people as well, for a price.
Bit of putt play in Cheydinhal.
Tovas knows his horses, and I'll stay with him and these beautiful creatures. Forever.
It's rather haunting.
Goodbye.
So yeah, it's like... No, I don't just want to talk about the things I dislike about Skyrim. I will talk about dragons perhaps at a later point, but let's just put it this way. I like dragons like they are in D&D. Which is to say... I want them to... I want them to be smart. Like in D&D, a dragon is not going to come down to land. If you force a dragon against the wall, guess what it's going to do? It's going to walk through you to get to the entrance of the cave, fly up into the air, and then melt everything within the cave. Yeah? Dragons are not stupid. They are not. It's one of my problems with like Lost Man of Phandelver, like the starter adventure for D&D. 5th edition, and indeed like now how like dragons are so prevalent in D&D, like every single starter adventure has to have dragons. And I know it's called Dungeons and Dragons, but how many dungeons are in Dungeons and Dragons? You know, the answer is fewer than there are dragons. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, it's like the intro's pretty good, and it's quite exciting as well. All the other like Elder Scrolls games are kinda chilled out, I guess. Like Daggerfall, it's easy to die in the tutorial area of Daggerfall, just because of like, you know, the maths concerning hits and misses and all that kind of thing, and like health and such. It can be quite difficult. But yeah, it can work out in the end. So let's go the way. Oh shit! So these horses are not exactly suited for wilderness travel. And you cannot take horses indoors with you. You can't take them into the city either. Horses will wait outside. It's times like these when I wish I had horse armour. If only such a thing existed. Yeah, so things I liked about Skyrim. I like the Civil War. The Civil War is my favourite part of Skyrim.
This is a hold-up. Hand it over or die. We can play it that way if you like.
See ya. Yeah, the Civil War element is like my favourite part of it. I appreciate that with the technology they had, they could not show it as grand as it was and like make it as lore friendly as they could, but it's still quite good. It wasn't good for the time, anything like that. It did not in any way like surpass Oblivion's like you know, great gate battle at the end of this game. That's not much of a spoiler, gang, don't worry. Not gonna lie, I have no idea which way I'm going. Oh yeah, horses can swim, but as you might suspect, very slowly. I actually don't know which way I'm fucking going, to be honest. I think if you fast travel on a horse as well, like you actually arrive at your destination sooner, because you're on horseback. So. Right, I need to go this way now because I need to find the Inn of Ill Omen. Inn of Ill Omen. Got there in the end. Oh. There we go. So, oh, there's multiple inns this way as well, that's good. Call it the Inn of Ill Omen for nothing, do they? In fact, let's park and ride. Let's have a go at this Oblivion gate. Let's get ourselves some fugitives can like. Oh Christ, is it going to be one of these?
Oh!
What else I like about Skyrim? I like the cities. I don't necessarily like the NPCs, how some of them like, I say generic, that's not quite the word, but yeah, like that sort of bit of the game is a bit of a pisser, to be honest. Where like some NPCs will just like not engage in like full dialogue, and I get that that's not important to a lot of people. But you know, it's important to me. I like that sort of aspect of the game. I don't really need a torch, do I? Yeah. So. That gate doesn't seem to have opened. Unless opening one gate closes another, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just gonna have that. I'm just trying to figure my way out. Ooh, base ring of endurance, I love that. Resist disease, burgundy linens. Well, that was absolutely worth looting. A good price for them. So yeah, yeah, I like the towns it's going. I like as well the idea that like you can replace the leaders with existing people as well. So like, it's not just like it summons a new leader out of thin air. So if one of the leaders gets, you know, changed with, you know, the resistance, then yeah, it's kind of cool that like you take an existing NPC. And that loyalty's rewarded and all that sort of thing. It's yeah, I genuinely do find it quite interesting. It's an idea that a lot of games like to toy with, but they only really like go as far as Skyrim did. It's like choices mean things. It's like, so. It's like, yeah, what do they mean though? We don't know, but hey, choices matter. You know, it's become like an industry buzzword. Choose good spells. No, I won't. To have lost them, nice. Oh well, so much for that. I don't even know what Civilized is supposed to be other than just like summoners, I guess. Conjurers, rather. The skill system I kind of liked in Oblivion, where it's like you don't need to be like you don't need to change your build or anything like that. Like you don't need to have like alts or alternate characters to experience the entirety like the skill tree and such. You really are limited only like by your willingness to play certain content and such, and like just stick at it. Yeah, it's very user friendly, very new user friendly. It does what it can to what's What's his voice like? Zivalai reminds me of a Doctor Who monster. Oh, Davros. Yeah. Zavalar's creaking voice there. Yeah. So like, yeah, I liked Skyrim. I think Skyrim did some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it made experimenting worth it. And like theory crafting so much more fun for other people who would normally not be into that sort of style of gameplay. And you don't have to spend like ages with a single character trying to achieve something. Like here, like if I decided in Skyrim that like, oh, hand isn't worth it, I could just, you know, not do it. Whereas in this game, I kind of have to stick with it, because if I don't, all my other skills are going to take ages to develop. You know? Hand is 102, my god. Let's have a look at this stone we got. Fortify speed, oh my, yes. Okay, we need, oh right. So I need some elven boots. Because I don't know what's better than elven boots. What's better than elven in this game? Glass, I don't know. I need to figure that out. Because that, I am definitely fortifying my speed so I can run even faster. Fucking hell, how many monsters are out here? Yeah. So yeah, like skills in Skyrim are pretty good. Some of them, like some of the skill trees, are way better than others. But I like that in addition to like incremental increases, you're also getting like you get. So I know just like, oh, you do 20% more damage, which is shit. It's like, that doesn't mean anything to me whatsoever, because game developers apparently can't count. Oh, this is the Imperial Legion Forest I was on about. As if in Spy, you know, the amount of games that don't use a D20 or whatever to resolve things. There's another inn as well I think we're going to want to visit at some stage. First, let's make a pilgrimage to the Nine. Well, that's the way she runs of the Nine. Sorry, I forgot how to jump. It's E. Your horse can jump. And horses will fight back if they have absolutely no other options. Right, let's make our way to Breville eventually. So... Oh, there's another way around here, nice. Yeah, so like in addition to like the increments, like you'd also get like the cool moves. So like, for example, then with hand to hand, it's like, yeah, you can level up your hand to hand skill. I think hand to hand's in. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think. Is hand to hand in Skyrim? I can't remember. I've never actually played a hand to hand build like outside of this game, to be honest. So yeah, it's like your hand to hand skill. Yeah, you can increase the damage. And you can also like learn new moves. Yeah. So technically an upgrade from Oblivion, I guess, where like your learning is linear. And when you level up, you know, like you get experience points, and you get experience points by doing and learning and all that sort of thing. And
Well met.
you get a point to spend on any skill.
Good morning.
So you can level up your heavy armor skill, your smithing skill, and you could put that into archery or illusion or whatever. So I need to figure out where these fugitives are. In fact, let's ask our comrades at the fighter skill.
Good day. Wish I could help you out, but the locals aren't talking.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
It's always a pleasure to hear Uravasa Osrela speak at chapel. She has a real way with words.
Speak at chapel. he's
I'm
apparently to
pretty
Yorkshire.
handy. What needs to be fixed?
In fact, what am I paying him for? I can do that myself.
Go hurt something.
I love how that's like a fighter's guild thing. Go hurt something. I have plenty of repair hammers. Let's get repairing. Is there anyone actually who works at the fighter skill basement? So fighter skills rather than... Maybe they are all down in the basement. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all sleeping though, bless them.
I hope I can help. Be seeing you.
I hope I can help. There's a lot of adventuring action from here south to Blackwood, and everyone comes to me with their gear. Go to it.
Another thing about Skyrim as well is they
A pleasure to speak with you.
they really did develop on the dungeons and such. Like in Morrowind, a lot of dungeons are repeated. In Oblivion, there's a lot of repetition as well. I think they more like just took, like rather than just like copy wholly like dungeons like they did in Morrowind, they took rooms and just like pieced them together like mega blocks or something.
The Fighters Guild is good enough to encourage me in sharing the inner peace and spiritual harmony of the martial arts. Goodbye.
See, one of the things about the Fighters Guild that you won't get from other guilds in this game is that if they have bases elsewhere, their leaders are somewhat unique. The Fighters Guild only really has like 3 major NPCs that you need to talk to, you know? Mages Guild, you will go to every guild and you will learn about their own way of doing things. In this game, where the fuck's the exit? Yeah, you won't get much information. There's no point going to the other Fighters Guild branches. Unless you want repairs, and even then.
Well met. Sure, I know about them. Look, you didn't hear it from me, but rumor is that they're hiding out in Bloodmane Cave. 4 of them. Bad news. Wish I had more to tell you about them, but I don't. Take care.
Certainly shall. Well, if they're fugitives, they're going to be armed, and if they're going to be armed, that means they're going to have... excuse me, gear. And if they have gear, that means I'm going to want to sell it. But if they want to sell it, it means I have to have a room in my inventory to sell it. So where, pray tell, is a fucking merchant in this town? What's in Luciana's, whatever her name is, chest. Let's find out. So I've got the key, I can't open the chest. Great. Nice. Things in Skyrim though, like, so yeah, they really took the time to make each dungeon unique and provide its own thing. Yeah, I'm constantly amazed at that. Like,
Hi there.
it's not that big a deal compared to, I suppose it is actually, compared to Oblivion, because the thing is that I was about to say that, like, in the case of Oblivion and Morrowind, it's just that people can't be asked actually looking. That, you know, like, that game doesn't have as much, or yeah, people give more attention to Skyrim, but no, there's actually a lot of good stuff in Morrowind, and there's just nowhere near as much environmental storytelling in Oblivion as there is in Skyrim. But again, it's that always trying to I think it's like over-egging the pudding, so to speak. It just eventually gets too much, and it's like sometimes I just want a simple dungeon crawl, and that works. And like Oblivion, I think it's got the right mix where you've got all this other stuff in the world that you've got no motivation to do other than to simply go out and do it. I just think that maybe there is a bit too much there. Like, you've got all these caves, all these mines, all these alien ruins and whatnot, and you don't need to actually go to half of them. Most of them aren't quest related or have, you know, that much to really offer you. So let's find the fugitives and let's see if we can talk to them. Haha! That's the obvious one. It's actually this one here. Right, let's save and just see what happens if I try to talk to them.
You shouldn't have come for us.
So, if I do this and press the spacebar, I can ask them to yield.
You've made a big mistake. You've made a big mistake.
But, as he's not interested in yielding, rather. Just have to kill him. And take his trousers. I'll give them back to him. But, yeah. But yeah, they really doubted themselves with like the environmental storytelling and such, and like the making every dungeon unique and have something within it. I don't know, I guess I'm just like a very classically mindset person where it's like, I just want to go in and kill stuff, and that's it. I like there to be a reason for things, absolutely. Like in Fallout, I think Fallout is like the ultimate like video game dungeon design, because you look at it and you think, okay, why does this exist? Well, it exists to do this, this, and this. You know, like this used to be a school, this used to be a car factory, this used to be a, you know, a Nuka-Cola, you know, distribution centre, and things like that. You could take the most boring place in the world, like, I don't know, like an office, and make it into the creepiest place, the worst place imaginable, because it's in this nuclear apocalypse where you've got sadistic motherfuckers roaming wild and free. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's so that's good for the amount of weight that it has. But yeah, I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna drop that as well. I'm gonna drop that as well. At least with plenty of room for other things. So I think they were carrying a... Oh, Dremora and Daedric longswords. Two different things. Well... Daedric longsword does... Ah! It's worth way more. So Dremora longsword must be... Ah, Dremora longswords are what the Daedra have. Daedric is what you can find in the world itself. That pickaxe reminds me. Another thing I like about Skyrim is that like they did skills really well. Like armory. Yeah, you can make money from farming. You can make money from chopping wood. It's a really good game for role-playing, for the non-combat stuff. Because that's something I massively advocate for in like MMOs and such. It's like, yeah, if you just want to level up doing that, that's great. Just do it, you know? It's something I loved in Skyrim. And it's something I advocated for massively in World of Warcraft.
Hey, what have...
Because I really just want more stuff like that in games, where it's like, you just want to level up through this, just let people do it. Yeah. Like Final Fantasy 14 as well, like that, it does that brilliantly. Like Fallout Fantasy, excuse me, Final Fantasy is yeah. There we go, that makes things like that possible. Now where in the bull fucking hell am I going? That way leads up, so it's got to be through this way. I deduce, therefore. Oh, fuck. Good job we kept that potion. That's the one time we actually needed it. Mind you, my character's actually quite weak to disease. I've noticed that they're getting a lot more diseases, especially early on. Jesus. Dagger of Stones. Very nice indeed. Plenty of uses on that. Does a lot of damage. It's a Daedric one, so... yeah. There we go. What a nice little quest. That's definitely the end of level loot. Is there anything else in this place to rob? Here we go. There's the exit there. Let's poison cure disease, but never mind, I'll take what I can get. So that's just about this place to really loot it, so let's make our way out of here. Oh, what a beautiful day it is. So, we've dealt with the fugitives, we don't need to go back to Breville. Although I think if we did, we might hear some rumours about the fugitives. In fact, stop by the bookstore.
Books. I sell books. Go ahead. Look. Buy some.
Ah, yeah, I'm thinking of somewhere else.
Imperials hate Dark Elves. Dark Elves hate Imperials. Imperials hate that a no-name Lalu trader got made into a count. Andal Indurus doesn't help his case by having a prat for a son and a wife that dies in very suspicious circumstances. Our Dark Elves left Morrowind to get away from the church and state, and they don't like it when Imperials get all holy and patriotic with them. Of course, local Dark Elves tend to be money-grubbing, alcoholic lowbrows with little education or culture. Since I read a lot and speak well and don't drink brandy from milk pails, I guess I qualify as an Imperial. But on the whole, I like Shadenhall's Dark Elves better than I like the Imperials. So, go figure. Otessa is a wonderfully gifted healer. I sometimes worry that she spends too much time taking care of... not enough on herself. There's much I can show you.
But not today.
Goodbye. Good to see you.
Oh, it must be down in the basement.
You've got a contract to take care of. Why are you talking to me? Took care of all of them, did you? And you're still alive. Fantastic. You're full of surprises. Here's your payment. Good work. That Rakanar seems a bit shady to me. He does a good job on the horses at the castle, though.
I'm screenshotting that because in my D&D game there is someone called Rakanar. It's spelled R-A-K-H-O-N-A-R, I think.
You've been doing a good job, and under a lot of scrutiny. I've been authorized to promote you to the rank of Guardian. Good work.
Thought you didn't need any more Guardians.
I understand Urien is looking for you again. Get to Coral and speak with the man.
Oh yeah, Modronorian. So they pronounce his name two different ways. Modronorian and Orion. Works for me. Let's sell some gear.
I hope I can help. I spoke with Dietsan at the Mages Guild recently. I've never seen someone so happy about being in the guild. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
So just have a quick look. Are they selling? Ah, damn. I'm trying to think out. I'm just trying to figure out what's better in terms of protection. So if a shield is giving you 12 protection, glass is coming. Oh, okay. I'm just thinking about what to enchant my gear with. So I think it's going to have to be glass. So And seeing as my disposition's high, let's see if we can sell for a bit more. Ooh, let's see if we can go a bit further.
I can't do that.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a fair deal. A fine
Get rid of that.
fine transaction.
Get rid of that as well. I don't mind selling these for only 1,000 gold. I saw on the
Pleasure to serve you.
like an Elder Scrolls page I saw recently, where someone was like, "You've got to stop obsessing over the fact that you can't sell things for the maximum amount that they're worth." Like seriously, just sell it. It doesn't matter. Like, it's better to get something for it than nothing at all, because you will get nothing if you just hoard it. I was in the Fighters Guild, because I might need a minute to, in fact, I'll find Orin, Modrin, get positioned up, and then we will resume the game. But right now I need a wee wee. And I am back. Hello again. Right.
I hope I can help.
I hope so too.
I've got another job for you. It's a sensitive one. I need you to find Varanus Daunton.
Oh Christ, what's the boy done now?
Hey! I sent him on a mission to Forsaken Mine. He and some others were supposed to clear the place of trolls. Haven't heard back from them in days. I want you to go check it out. I don't need to tell you how sensitive a matter this is. Get moving, and report back to me as soon as possible. We'd been contracted to clear the place of trolls. It was a tough job, but I felt the men I sent were up to it. I want to know what happened. You can do it.
So, let's go to the mine. At the back of the Leywin. What the fucking hell's happening over there?
I fought mud crabs. Fearsome than you. Stay!
Hello?
I hope I can help. Things are really slow. You remember the last time we had a new contract?
Alright.
Fine.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. You too.
I hope I can help. Anvil is all in an uproar. Farewell.
These are the guys who are collecting the Imgal and other such components. Very nice indeed. Now we've got a mine to find. See, if there's one reason why I don't like combat Oblivion, well, Elder Scrolls games, it's because of the whole like you can't fast travel while enemies are nearby and such. Because otherwise, if you're facing mud crabs, you are locked in combat with something that's incredibly slow and small and hard to find, and it's a pain in the arse. And it's not something you really want to deal with. The thing is, what else is it going to be? Here, you know? Did I ask before why can't the melee one take this job? You know, they've been complaining about a lack of work. Taking on contracts, like, could they not do this one? Take on some trolls? I mean, they're plot essential. Like, that job's as good as done. Yeah, so, the game does not appear to be following its own logic. Well, that's foreboding. Oh dear. So, what I was saying about mud crabs earlier, I was only joking. They're actually a very, very dangerous move. For Christ's sakes, they've killed 1, 2... Oh, that rat may have got some kills as well. Yeah, it's not... It's not looking good so far. It's no wonder they didn't stand a chance. Got iron armour and leather armour. Seriously, who's made these fucking names up? It's like Bimmy and Jimmy. All over again. Who's leaving these chests in these locations? All the things I liked about Skyrim, I'm trying to get back into that. Because to be honest, like, my main reason for liking it is just how laid back it is. You know, I don't want to say casual, I think that's disparaging, but yeah, it's a very laid back experience where I can just about do anything and make some progress. Hello. Want a souvenir. I suppose I have feather, do I? Ah, never mind. Do I have anything that might feather me? Ah, shit, I'm just going to drop some stuff. Not good. Oh, shit. Why don't I get rid of this? God damn it. So black would come. Well, that ain't good.
Yeah!
Let's see where we can go. Some full damage, nice. You can take some damage, mate. There. Ooh. Grand Ring of Brawling. I like that a lot. I think my other ring's gonna have to come off. Because that... it's not every day. I get a ring of punch better. So what is my hand-to-hand now? 17 damage, bloody hell. I think that's higher than most weapons can get, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh no. Many of the pages of this journal have been shredded or are too covered in blood to be legible. Sundays. It has been 2 weeks since Vitella's death, and I fear that Mother may never truly accept the fate that he has gone. She visits his grave nightly, though I do not believe she knows that I have seen her go. She speaks to him, apologizing for sending him on his last mission. I know in my heart that he would have sought no other end. Better to die fighting for the honor of the guild than to waste away in a life of relative safety. With this, another day of barracks duty. It's been a full month since I have been given a contract, any contract. My time is spent polishing weapons and training with the new boots. Edward and I have spoken about this at length. His reasoning, as always, is sound. My mother fears for my safety, and for the safety of the guild. This is a terrible weight for her to bear. Perhaps when our numbers have risen, she'll once again feel comfortable allowing me to perform my duties. Mondas. Thank the gods for Edward. I fear that without him, I would go mad. His constant companionship keeps me hopeful that I will one day be returned to active duty. Until then, we have each other. He has willingly forgone lucrative contracts in order to help me pass the days. A truer companion I could not imagine. Lotus. Some days, I question whether or not I am fit to be a guild member. Perhaps Mother's fears of my safety not because of Varanus, but because of my own abilities. Am I a failure in her eyes? Does she believe me to be less a man than Varanus? Turdus, freedom! Finally, a contract! I was sent to work with one of our newer members to investigate a disappearance in Nonwell Cavern. It was nothing glamorous, but I'm glad for the opportunity to see some action. I doubt, however, that Mother ever knew about the contract, as the order came directly from Orion. It is good to see that he has still faith in my abilities, and my ability to keep the new boot alive. Lotus, again, nothing. It seems my only hope is that Orion will find another contract for me, though contracts are harder and harder to come by with the increasing presence of the Blackwood Company in Cyrodiil. Edward and I spoke about this over breakfast this morning. He believes them to be nothing more than a rogue mercenary band. If he is as naive as he is beautiful, the Blackwood Company bears watching. Date obscured. I've been given another contract, clearing out some trolls that have been troubling the miners, and Edward is to accompany me. I can't think of better news. It is exactly what I need. Date obscured. Edward is dead, along with the rest. I fear I will follow shortly. The fighting grew heavy with the trolls, but it was under control. Then came the Blackwood Company. They were like madmen. Trolls, men, mer fell to their blades. It was inhuman. Text not readable. Text not readable. Blackwood Company gone as quick as they came. Edward fought bravely. All did. Rest now. I hear trolls. Sorry, Mother. So, most interesting. They were guildmates. So, we found, unfortunately, the Varanus, and Edward had passed away.
You're back. What have you found out?
Well, given that Varanus is not with me, it's not looking good, is it?
Dead! Dead! What happened? A journal? Let me see that. Blackwood Company. Bastards! Rank amateurs! I don't like to think how Valena is going to take this news. He was my responsibility. I'll be the one to tell her. I want you to lay low for a while. Talk to Azan or grow cash. Let me deal with Valena. You've still got a career ahead of you. Be seeing you. A pleasure to speak with you. Goodbye.
And she's just there.
A pleasure to speak with you. Take care.
So, rest in peace. Varanus done.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. Can I interest you in some of my wares? An excellent bargain. A good... appreciate your business.
Farewell.
So, let's put away this stuff and perhaps seek our revenge on the Blackwood Company another day. Meantime though, let's store this away. Yeah, I don't like that Paul Varanus got killed. It's yeah, deserve better than the hands of trolls. I think Paul Varanus suffered as well. Long enough. Right. I'm going to now enchant some of those boots, because I've got mithril boots, haven't I? Brothel Creepers. Ah, my brothel. Ah, that's right. 100 feather on self. Okay. I don't have a glass helm, do I? Glass greaves? What are my trousers doing? Yeah, 45 fatigue. It's not worth it. I might as well have glass greaves then. So, scroll all the way down. What if I speed 12 points on self? Duds of dashing. There we go. Duds of dashing. My speed is now fortified. No, wrong page. To 112.
Seems you've blooded your knuckles, have you done?
So, I can now move that a little bit faster as far as I can tell. So, we can still salvage our career, believe it or not. So let's do that.
Hello.
Speak to Azan. Disturb him in his sleep. But how close am I to leveling up?
Here for more work, are you? I've got one last contract for you. First, though, a bit of bad news. Orain spoke with Velena about your last mission. She didn't take the news well. Orain has been expelled. And I'm sorry to do this, but you've been demoted to Defender. You'll be fine.
So, my rank is
Go to
Defender.
it. There's one last contract. Look, I can't promote you. Not now. You'll need to get some contracts completed, and then I can do it. I've only got one more thing on my plate for you, but it's an important one. The Stone of St. Alessia has been stolen from Bruma Chapel. I don't know if you're religious, but a lot of folks are, and the stone is important. Talk to Sirach in Bruma. He'll fill you in on the details. Talk to Sirach.
trying to think what else I could perhaps use. See, that needs to be upgraded because the armor rating isn't anywhere near as good as that. I'm missing out on 5 points of defense without it. Those are only giving me 1 armor, and these are giving me 5, but they are fortifying my hand to hand. So I may have to join the Mage's Guild soon. Oh wait, no. Just thought of something else I could do instead.
Greetings, my friend. You must be from the Fighters Guild. We appreciate your help. It's said the stone was blessed by Alessia herself. And while it remains in our possession, no harm may come to our church. The relic was stolen from us not long ago. A group of men was seen leaving the chapel the night the stone was stolen. We believe they were bandits. From all accounts, there were 4 or 5 of them, and they've been seen heading east on the road. Please, find the stone of Saint Alessia. The chapel has made enemies here in the past. The Nords prefer their dragon Ismir to our father Akatosh. The Tap and Tack is a good place to get a quick bite, and Olav is a good man. Pay attention and you can learn a lot. Find the stone.
One other thing I like about oh, that's where everyone is. The horses are. My horses nowhere to be seen. Great. This is interesting.
I hate my life. So I assume you're the one who's been sent to track us down. Damn stone was more trouble than it was worth. We stole it. I won't try to hide that now. I'm all that's left now, though. We may have stolen the stone, but we weren't the last ones to do it. The lot of us got jumped by a bunch of ogres. Partial to pretty gems, it seems. I'm the only one that survived. If you want the stone, head to Cedar. I've told you all, It's not far from here. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Now just leave me. Go ahead, I don't care.
So he's lost his essential status, which means he can be comfortably killed. Don't think I've got any bounty for that. Nope, right. Wait. In Bruma, anything's legal as long as you don't get caught. The fuck was that? Fuck shit. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully a bit of potions.
Whoa! Whoa!
Really? Nothing? Fair enough. Ah, silence. If there was a spell that the shaman cast. What's that landmark up there that I can't reach? God damn. So another thing I like about Skyrim is that I like that stamina and sprinting exists. I don't necessarily like that it replaced athletics and acrobatics, but I appreciate the good of it. See, normally there's someone here. I think they have their dog there, hence the all the meat. Oh, tell you what, let's take a quick detour. Because this place, it's a rather unique building, isn't it? This, you will come to find, is one of the DLCs. Frostcrag Spire. One of the best player houses you will ever find in a video game ever. Here we are. And very practical. Now this is pretty epic. So you look here. Much to it really, right? Look at that. It's a frost atronach, frozen there with its palm outstretched to reveal the Frostcrag Spire memoirs. Let's give them a read. As I pen this, I gaze upon the walls of my home and remember the very day its design came to fruition. Although it seems like yesterday, it was actually many years ago. I was an impetuous wizard. I wasn't simply satisfied. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, fucking hell. 1 second, sorry. I wasn't simply satisfied living at the Arcane University. I spent many years coming up with a design for my home, a place where I could practice my magic in peace and keep myself away from the prying eyes of my colleagues. I pored over tomes and dusty scrolls, scoured the bookshops of the land, and even delved into ancient ruins looking for inspiration. Finally, as I rested my weary body at a camp outside of Brimmer, I marvelled in awe at the majesty of the Gerald Mountains. I became inspired. Like a madman, I began to sketch exactly what I wanted my grand dwelling to look like. It wasn't long before I had completed my masterpiece, put down my quill and took a step back to see what I had wrought. Frostcrag Spire was born. And now, as age overwhelms me and the glow is dying from my eyes, I wish to give the spire to you. The thought that my dream could one day crumble to ruin fills me with sadness. I know that you'll take care of your new home, and if need be, restore it to its former glory. Please, heed my instructions carefully. There's much to tell, and the strength drains from my limbs. Frostcrag Spire contains many wonderful inventions. I've spent my whole life perfecting them, and I hope you'll put them to good use. My pride and joy is the Atronach altar. By bringing 3 souls from the very same creatures to this altar, you can summon an Atronach Familiar to do your bidding. It will obey your simple commands and defend you in times of need. Should you tire of it, simply speak to it and dismiss it. These fine creatures have protected me in my travels, and should they be of great use to you. With permission from the Grey Arcane University, I've had a spell-making and enchanting altar placed in the tower as well. You'll have but to provide the mage tallow candles to power them, and they will serve you well. Working closely with my good friend Sinderion, the master alchemist of Skingrad, I have developed the Frostcrag apparatus table. This table is for the discerning alchemist, and should even help the most difficult brews become easier to create. I've also reseeded my alchemy conservatory with the best ingredients Cyrodiil has to offer, and some from beyond her borders. Finally, I have created portals to all of the mages' guilds in Cyrodiil. It should make it easier to travel to them in times of need. I've entrusted most of my belongings to Orellinway at the Mystic Emporium in the Market District of the Imperial City. There you'll find everything you need to bring Frostcrag Spire back from the dead. She may require compensation for her time and care watching for these special items, but I assure you, it's well worth the coin. Please take care of Frostcrag Spire. She was my home, and much of myself is infused with the stone and mortar. May your journeys be safe, and the roads you travel free of danger. Here we have Frostcrag Spire. My darling dearest, if you wanted to know where the budget for the voice acting went, well, you're looking at it. So, we need Mage Tallow to make these work. But we can. Oh, we've just created an Atronach. There we go, there he is. So you can follow me around. He's a bit smaller than I expected, but he'll do. So kind of a Frost Atronach, Storm Atronach, and a Flame Atronach follow us. This here is the Alchemy Garden. Stuff from Oblivion as well. There is more to these places. So we can go to the top here. There's nothing really here, even if you upgrade it. It's just, well, that's a nice to look at. It's not really at the moment. But yeah. And here you have portals to the different Mages Guild. Troll portals of the Mages Guild. I wonder which one that is. Ah, the Kvatch Mages Guild is no more. We're very clever, but who knows, maybe if we one day rebuild Kvatch, that's something we can do.
Hail, good citizen. How can I be of service?
Hello.
Yes?
What's new with you?
I heard people saying they ran into goblins around here not long ago. I can't stand those things.
Disgusting creatures. I hope never to see another.
What can I help you with? You aren't the first person to go looking for those. Quite a remarkable story, really. I know a bit about it.
Oh, please do.
Certainly. Garradin was a knight who lorded over a small village of peaceful farmers. One harvest summer, there was a horrible drought. The farmers appealed to Garradin to discover a solution. He spent a week consulting with sages, until one of them mentioned a possibility. The sage told him of an artifact called the Everflow Ewer. The vessel, which looked like a silver pitcher, was said to supply endless water. Yes, indeed. Legend has it that Garradin found the ewer, and that it was guarded by a fearsome creature. It is also said that the creature froze him. When Garradin realized his quest was a failure, and he wouldn't be able to return and save the farmers, he began to shed some tears. As the ice enveloped him, some of his tears were frozen as well. Some even say that the divine, Mara, took pity on the poor knight. To commemorate his kind heart, she imbued the tears with some sort of magical power. That's only rumor, though. You know, if you're really interested in more, there's a book I read once called Nightfall. It may have more about Garradin. I think I saw a copy last time I was at the first edition bookshop in the Market District. I wish I could tell you more about them, but that's all I remember from speaking to my colleagues here at the university. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it.
So I will buy that book, I think.
Please visit me again anytime. I'm glad to help. Give
Good to
Sadrasa my
see you.
regards. Anything else? What can I interest you in?
In fact, she doesn't really sell anything want or need.
Please visit me again anytime. I'm glad to help. Give Sadrasa my regards.
I can't get into the Arcane University, so let's quickly go to the Market District. Buy the book. And then we'll have all we need to do Garriden's Tears quest. First, I want to stop by and buy some stuff here.
What? Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
I'm sure we can do better than that, can we? Oh.
Pleasure doing business.
Can we get a better deal than that? Yes, of course we can. How about a bit better than that? There we go. 2 grand for Mage Tallow, I don't know. How about...
A bargain at any price.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll go... How about that?
I can't make that.
Oh, fair enough. There we go. Just in case.
Thank you for your business.
So now, purchased everything available for Frostcrag Spire.
What is it?
Which we can go to, but first, stop by
I'm
first
listening.
edition. So we can buy Nightfall, perhaps even have a read of it. Very nice.
A pleasure to speak with you. You'll never leave the feed bag on an empty stomach. May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Sounds some odd gear for a bookseller. Document of puerile banter. A single-use scroll for 6,000 points. Fortify endurance and willpower, but you drain your speechcraft and personality on yourself. Well, I never. Nightfall, there we go.
Out.
Oh, the Armorer's Challenge, that's a good
Pleasure
book.
doing business with you. A fine bargain for you.
What other books does he have that are quite expensive? Modern Heretics, History of Lockpicking,
A fine bargain for you.
Cleansing of the Fane, Children of the Sky. These might just be rare books rather than ones that actually have any skills associated.
Thank you for your business.
You never know.
Farewell.
Just nice just to have that on the front. So let's try and go through these and just see if any of these are skill books. Biography of the Wolf Queen, I think we've already read by the looks of things. Cleansing of the Fane, Children of the Sky. Oh, Data Crossfix. This document is to inform the bearer that the last known owner of the property known as Frostcrag Spire has been declared deceased, and the bearer has been listed as the sole heir and successor to the deceased's ownership of said property. The bearer has full ownership rights to all of the structures, flora and land within the property borders as defined in the Cyrodiil Construction Charter. The bearer is responsible for all matters pertaining to or occurring on said property. The document also empowers the bearer to transfer rights to reassign the property as he sees fit. The bearer may amend this document to rename the manor by submitting the proper forms and payment to the Cyrodiil Construction Charter and by filing duplicate forms with the Documents Division of the Imperial City Archives. Just try and read these Hanging Gardens. History of Lockpicking. In fact, that might be an idea as well. We can have a look at the horse armour. Just want to quickly have a look at some of these books to see if are no more skills within that I can't get. Almost done. That's Oblivion, guildmates. Warrior. Okay, so we've actually looked at all the books now, so let's have a read of Nightfall. Nightfall tells the tale of Garden and the quest for the Everflow Year. Excerpt from Nightfall. Tales of heroism and chivalry, edited by Corellian Odrinius. The legend of Garden Stalrose, as told by Jarden Ethelwald, squire and friend. And so it came to pass that on the first month before the harvest, nary a decent crop could be found in the drought-ridden fields of Farmantle Glens. 27 families, their bellies sunken and empty, turned to their lordship who had been so fair to them in hard times before. The man ruled not with an iron fist, but with a soft touch of silken kindness. My lord, Garden Stalrose, knight-errant of the Farmantle Glens. I watched sadly as my lord Garden looked out at the withered fields before him from his meagre stone keep, and cursed the luck that tainted the skies and stopped the rain from falling. The families in his charge would not last the winter, which was always bitter and cold in the northern reaches of the Gerals. His own supply of grain was already picked clean. It was barely enough to sustain him for the months ahead. I know if my lord had the food there, he would gladly have shared it, allowing his charges to pay him back in whatever time or manner they could afford, in some cases to those in dire need, give it to them without costs. Something had to be done, and it had to be done soon. Sparing not a drake, Garden paid for the best sages he could find, and used the rest to buy as much surplus grain as he could rest from the neighbouring domains. A month passed, and nothing surfaced. Winter's icy tendrils would soon creep across Farmantle Glens, causing the green to disappear from the landscape. Families would have to huddle close to their hearths, keeping warm and rationing the bits of food Garden had given them. I could see Garden's patience, which was immense, mind you, wearing thin. He told me he'd considered selling his keep, his belongings, anything to keep his people alive. If only the harvest would yield more, they'd be saved. Then, as if Mara herself had answered his prayers, a sage entered Garden's keep with the answer. Legend told of a vessel of sorts from which water would pour endlessly, known as the Everflow Year. Some said the divines themselves created it, others thought perhaps a powerful sorcerer enchanted it. Whatever it was from, Garden knew this could be his chance. Following the directions from the sage, my lord and I set out to recover the Ewer and rid Farmantle Glens of the drought. It took days to reach the entrance to the place. After we passed through a winding passage, we finally came to an odd door covered in mystical symbols. As the sage instructed, my lord touched some refined frost salts to the door. The ancient door opened, and we proceeded into the glade. A cave cut into the hillside led into a small glade of trees. In the centre of the glade, flanked by two standing stones, was a stone altar. On the altar, seemingly glowing within a light, was the Ewer. Cut from crystal, the vessel was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Water filled it to the very top, and as legends held, would never diminish as the liquid decanted from it. Eager to return to his domain, Garden grasped the Ewer in hand. Suddenly, the ground trembled as the mountains themselves were angered. The sky changed from sunlit blue to dreary grey. Even the ring of trees forming the ground of the glade seemed to be bent away slightly from the altar, as if fearing what was to come. Then, with no warning, one of the standing stones cracked and exploded. My gaze froze as my heart fell as I looked upon the guardian of the glade. A huge creature, seemingly cut from the very same crystal of Ewer, stepped forth and growled menacingly at my master. The air around it became very cold, as if it was born from the glaciers of the northern mountains. This was a being of ice, living, breathing ice. Garridan shouted at me to run as he drew his blade. Still clutching the ewer in one hand, he gave a mighty swing to the ice creature. When the forged steel struck home, it gave a resounding ring and merely chipped to the beast, as a spike would when driven against the hardest of rocks. Never showing fear, my lord swung again and again, each blow being harmlessly deflected away. And a single and mighty blow from the ice creature knocked my lord down. His blade slid away, and he lay upon the forest floor, looking up into the crystalline eyes of his death. The ice creature raised its arm again for the fatal blow, brought it down hard on Garridan's prone form. I don't know why he did it. Perhaps it was instinct, perhaps a moment's relapse in judgment, but my lord lifted the ever-flow ewer defensively as he got up into a kneeling position. The blow from the creature hit with the vessel, creating an ear-splitting crash. There was a sound of water splashing and a horrible cracking noise as the sundered pitcher sent waves of freezing water in all directions. Even as I watched, the liquid covered the ice creature and my poor master. They seemed suspended in place as if frozen solid. At the time, I didn't know how true my thoughts had become. As I watched in horror, they were encased in a tomb of pure ice. I could see Garridan's face as the ice overtook him, and I could swear he was crying. A few of his tears froze and fell to the ground at his feet like beautiful blue crystals. He knew he'd failed his mission. His people would starve, and he was responsible. Frost and ice covered everything in the glade now. The trees, the rocks, the soil. Everything. It was then I became very aware that the air around me was beginning to freeze. It was like a cold winter's night at first, and it rapidly became worse. The cold was so bad it turned into some sort of frozen heat. It began to burn. My throat became tight and breathing became difficult. I began to lose feeling in my arms and legs, and my vision was beginning to blur. I had to escape this icy glade and tell Garridan's story. It was the least I could do for such a noble man. With every bit of strength I could muster, I ran from the frost fire and back through the cave. I barely escaped with my life. My journey back to the domain of Garridan was a sad one. My heart was heavy, my mind clouded with misery. He was a good man, the greatest I had ever known. To die like that was no such way, or such an honourable night to end his life. And I finally reached out the outskirts of Farmental Glen. The farmers were waiting for me. I was ready to tell them the sad news, but they raised a cheer of great joy. They told me that only a week ago a strange bluish glowing rain fell on the fields, and that the next day the crops began to grow as if they would never been a drought. A week ago was exactly when my master was frozen in that horrible glade, and his tears froze like bluish raindrops, frozen in time. I looked up at the heavens and saw the twinkling lights, suddenly gave me the great comfort. I thanked Mara, and I headed home. So Garridan's sacrifice had led to the people being saved, eventually. Nice. So we will do that quest soon.
Yeah. Restita stat lilia. I work at the Chestnut Handy Stables. Have you seen our horses wandering around? No? Okay. It's just that they're missing.
Oh. That's unusual.
We stable horses for folks in the Imperial City. We'd sell horses too, except we can't seem to keep track of them. Farewell.
And that's more information.
Seems you've bloodied your knuckles a few times. Snock Grabura, owner and proprietor. We board horses and, well, we don't actually sell horses. Anymore, that is. The Chestnut Handy Stables used to sell horses, but they're gone. Our horses. All gone. Big mystery. No idea where they went. I almost walked into that one. No. Of course not. That would be wrong. You shouldn't eat horses. If you need money fast, try Jensen's. You can sell almost anything there. What can I interest you in? Here you are, just like I promised. Thanks again for all the help.
So, my horse isn't here yet. Ah, there it is. That is the horse armor. This is what kicked up the biggest fuss in video games since the crash of '83. This right here. Bethesda, was it worth it? Everybody else, was it worth it? Because that's it. There, you happy now? Are you done shitting your pants now? Please say yes. We can have a look at it if you like. We can have another look if my horse gets here. But please, you are allowed to stop pooing yourselves over this. It's okay. Horse armor happened. It's not going away, and it can't hurt you. Like, it's silly now, but I do appreciate at the time why it was bad. Like, this was supposed to be what DLC, like we're supposed to be getting, like, little expansion packs, not, you know, horse armor. You know, inconsequential shite that no one actually needed. Oh, I like the sound that the Atronach made then. Just like that sort of rumble of thunder. That's what a storm Atronach should sound like. Yeah. Christ, he's trying to pay attention to something else because he can't sneak. Well, there he is. He lasted 2 whole fights. Great. So I hope you didn't spend too much money on those salts, because that's what it does. Yeah, it probably wasn't the best idea, given that these guys second. Sorry about that. Okay. Still rolling. So something has opened up, but I don't know what.
Oh!
Great. Something there.
Yeah!
and trying to shiny things. I think after this mission I have to call it. Because I need to make a move. But with any luck there may be something tomorrow. Depends on what I'm doing really. Naffle as usual. Yeah, of all the dungeons, Iliad ones are usually the most confusing. In terms of layout, fortunately we do have a local map. Do I have a bow by any chance? Damn. Don't think that's gonna do the trick. Sorry, I had a spell being cast. That wasn't mine. So that's not good. Could be liches for all I know. So if I had an arrow I could have shot that. Which is quite clever. Oh, there's a stone of Saint Alessia. But it does not show up as jewellery. So if we go all the way down here we'll see it as miscellaneous. Okay. So just gotta make our move back to Bruma. There's a camp there, so I'll just add that to the map as well. Just so I can stay clear of it in the future.
Show me what you've got.
Nobody Warhammer. Very nice indeed. Too bad most merchants don't have enough gold to buy it, but at least at that price anyway. So, let's make our way back to Bruma.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
Have you found it? Have you brought back the stone of Saint Alessia? Ah, you found it. I can't thank you enough. Your work is greatly appreciated. Here, take these. I wish I could give you more.
So I think he gives you gems
Knowledge.
as a reward.
Bless you.
Oh, strong emotions feeling, which is just as good. So yeah, depending on your level, you get a very different amount. So, sort out business in Bruma. Let's try and find Bur's Cache.
Let's hear it.
Never mind. We've got to hand that one in first.
Hello.
In Bruma? What's the status of the Stone of Saint Alessia? Have you returned it to Sirach yet? Well done. You've put in good work for me. I only wish I had more. Things are a little mean right now, as I'm sure you know. Here's your payment. I've got nothing more for you, my friend. I believe Burrs has one further assignment, but that is all. I wish you luck. Take care. Hello.
Let's rest up and level up. So, let's go to Sheddenhall, let's get the fighter skill quest, or just, yeah, so the fighter skill, and then I have to make a move.
Fight well.
Good afternoon.
So, I'm going to do there, so thank you very much for watching, take care, and Daphne.